But I've got to say, going back about 24 hours ago, there was a lot of excitement amongst the first serve team. Anyone that's listened to this show long enough knows that we follow the whole journey of all our Aussie players, from the ITFs to the ATP Challenger Tour, all the way up to the ATP and the WTA Tour. There are Aussies trekking everywhere around the globe, plying their trade to try and be the best that they can be. Our socials went into overdrive last night. Lead 2 has been a fascinating story to follow. Retired in 2014. Coached in Adelaide. We've had Lee on the program before. He returned in 2020. Just think about this. Since that period, when there was no tennis in Australia, UTR was the way to play some matches. 156 wins, just the 33 losses. So UTR, ITF, Lee slipped in for an ATP 250, got the wild card into the Australian Open, and this year has featured more prominently on the Challenger Tour. Last night in Seoul, in South Korea, he won his biggest title. And when you win an ATP Challenger, it does elevate you up the rankings, moving up 100 spots to be inside the top 200. 14 months ago, a young man with no ranking. Here he is at 190 in the world, and I think there's a lot more to be written in this story. 8 titles in the last 14 months, 7 at ITF level, now 1 at ATP level. He's been good enough to join us right off the top of the show tonight. We've made connection to South Korea. Lee, congratulations. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you so much, Brett. I'm excited to be here. And you did my story a world of great, so thank you so much.
Now, have you arrived in Busan?
Yeah, currently in Busan at the moment. I got a train after the win yesterday. Got in at midnight and all settled in Busan.
Now, I've watched a lot of your matches in Seoul this week. I thought you served beautifully. Now, you know this is the place where the great Sam Groth, who used to co-host this show with me, did record the fastest ever serve recorded in tennis at 263 clicks. So can you just step it up a notch in the next week?
Yeah, I'll try to. I mean, I don't have the stature of Grothy, but I'll say his 263 is probably the equivalent of my 210, so I'll go with that.
Hey, well done. Simply well done. I think we're just all enjoying following your story. And, you decided to come back and play professional tennis again, have a second crack at it. You must be wrapped with the way the last, 3 years nearly have unfolded.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've incredibly grateful, and I've always sort of had kind of mini goals in my head, I guess, and I've been very fortunate enough to almost go beyond my expectations in a lot of ways. The last 3 years has been absolutely amazing. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, but definitely a huge up in the last 24 hours.
So you dominated the UTRs, ITFs. You made your imprint pretty early and went to Tunisia, where a lot of Australians go to and sort of park themselves for weeks of the season to get matches, and they obviously have pre-qualities as well. So you're guaranteed to play when you go to that part of the world. But for this year, for you to step up that next rung and get this sort of result at Challenger level, what does it do for just your own self-confidence of where this journey can still go to?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. Definitely. I think that the biggest thing that this week has provided for me, not only just the ranking points, but it's also the confidence that I can match it with some of the best players in the world. I mean, I respect everyone that I played so highly. I mean, Duckworth, O'Connell, and Ibing Wu. I think all these guys are definitely top 100. I mean, top 50 level, especially. I mean, and just being able to be in a great contest with each and every single one of them is already I'm already super happy about. But then also to get the win as well is just an extra step further. So I'm just incredibly happy with my performances, and it just gives me a lot of confidence going into the next couple months or next year or so, just to know that I can when I'm playing well, that I can mix it with some of the best.
Yeah, your opponent last night, Yibing Wu, as you mentioned, I mean, he beat Jason Kubler. I think that was in Orlando about mid-year. I was watching that final on the stream. He missed a bit of tennis, but a great talent from China. I mean, he was throwing plenty at you last night. A lot of firepower, but he just had that ability to be able to neutralise and use your backhand slice to great effect, just get good court positioning, and then sort of, you know, when it was your turn, you could unleash. I mean, it was a difficult matchup. You found yourself a breakdown in both sets and just stuck to the task and worked your way back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Yibing Wu, I mean, I've been getting along with him off the court extremely well.
Yep.
He's someone I respect so highly. I think he's played 5 challenges and he's won 3 of them. And 5 or 6 recently, and he's won 3 of them. So, but he's someone that I look up to a lot. I mean, we're kind of in the locker room before we were about to play each other, and we just said to each other, "This is going to be a great match. Like, let's enjoy it." And straight after the match as well, he gave me a big hug, and it was just a really special player, and just a great person on and off the court. And just his game in general is just so many weapons. It was extremely tough to beat. I really had to bring the best tennis that I had to get him. But yeah, looking forward to a lot more battles with him in the future.
Lee, I mean, I only learned today, like maybe many others, that this had extra special meaning for you, didn't it, this win?
Yes. Yeah, no, it had a lot of meaning, Brett. It's has been a really, really tough. I'm generally pretty private with this sort of stuff, but I guess my mum passed away 3 weeks ago, and then we had a funeral on a Friday, and then on that Saturday, so the next morning I flew out to Korea to do a 3-week tournaments, and I really struggled to fly over, to be honest. There's a lot of tears on the flights over, and not sure if I could do it, but I just. I just said that, you know what, I had a pretty good feeling for some reason that mum would be there to support me. And this week, just before every match, I remember sort of looking up at the sky and just seeing her face, and just really, really helped me kind of calm down and have that inner confidence. And even sometimes during the matches when I felt like I needed a bit of extra energy or a bit of extra support, I just remember always looking at the change of ends and just looking up. I mean, if there's cameras, I'm sure they'll see a lot of me just looking up at the sky. When I'm doing that, it's because I'm looking at mum. So, and just to be able to do it the day before her birthday, because her birthday is today actually, was just incredibly, incredibly special. One of the best memories I've had. So yeah,
mate, hats off to you. Hats off to you. And I wouldn't have mentioned if it hadn't appeared on social media today. So that makes it even more memorable for you and remarkable to play the last 3 weeks. So I just was counting the countries. You've been to South Korea, stint in the USA, Canada, Slovakia, Bosnia, stint in Tunisia, Egypt. Obviously the tournaments that were being played in Australia in the last 14 months. You had three weeks over in France. I mean, you've rolled up your sleeves and started from scratch to have a second crack. Tell us maybe something we can't see. I mean, it's a brutal tour sport, one-on-one sport. You've got to go on, particularly that ITF level, some of the challenges. I thought the atmosphere in South Korea this week was great. I mean, if you close your eyes, that's what I want to see with our ATP Challengers here in Australia, just a little bit more atmosphere and marketed a little bit better. But you've simply just gone and done the hard work.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have. I mean, I've sort of told myself that this time around, this is pretty much my last chance, and that I wanted to leave nothing left unsaid. I wanted to go and to do whatever it takes to get the best out of myself, and just to know that that I can have no regrets. Whether I make it or not, that's not the point. It's just that I just want to see what I'm capable of, and just really enjoy myself, and just to be able to be super proud of the work that I've put in. And just an example, I think, for some of the younger people as well, that it's never too late. Hey, people, a lot of players when they're 14, 15 think that it all needs to happen so fast. And I guess I just want to, yeah, be an example to those guys. And yeah, and I just wanted to make sure that this time around I did it really properly, that I invested in myself financially, emotionally, physically, and just gave everything that I had. And I can look back and be like, yeah, I did it, or you know what, I gave it a crack, and it just wasn't meant to be. But hey, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, and I wouldn't have changed anything for the world.
Great perspective. I mean, this crew. So I look at yourself, Omar Jasika, who we had on this show 3 weeks ago, who actually quote said Lee has been my inspiration, and he's gone and grinded this year. And then Dane Sweeney, who I just love watching play. Lee. I mean, I just think he's gone up a notch with everything he's doing. Close your eyes, I'm thinking of Demonor. You know, he's just skidding around everywhere, chasing every ball. What a nightmare to play, and he wins his 6th title for the year. I mean, there's 3 of you there that, you know, gee, you feel like there's huge upside.
Yeah, I think of those two like my brothers. I mean, Omar, we constantly call each other, like we constantly call ourselves the comeback boys. Yeah. And that, you know, we're on the come up and things like that. So we're following each other's journey extremely closely.
Yep.
You know, we sort of made a comeback at the same time. And, you know, we keep encouraging each other of, you know, come on, let's bring on Aussie summer. Like, we got this. And, you know, next year's our year and things like that. So, no, I think of him like a brother. And the amount of times that Dane's asked me the amount of times I offer my shoelaces, my spare shoelaces to him because he keeps snapping them from sliding around the court when we're on the tour together, is hilarious. And no, we have a lot of inside jokes as well. So I look at those two and I just think of family. And yeah, I really love those guys. And I'm just super happy for all they've achieved this year as well. I think they're incredible players, and I just am really excited for this generation of tennis to come for Australia. I think there's going to be some really exciting things happening.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said. So Busan this week, and then it's the Challenger at Playford. Do you come back home for that? What's the rest of the year look like?
Yeah, so I'm playing Busan, and then I'm playing Playford, and then Sydney.
Yep.
And then after that, I will potentially go to Japan. But I also have my wedding end of November, so that might clash with it a little bit. So I will just assess after Sydney and then make a call on Japan. But I mean, my goal at the start of the year was to get a ranking inside 220, and I've just done that this last 24 hours. So yes, I think I'll just assess after Sydney, and then we'll see how we go.
Great stuff. Really appreciate the chat. As I say, we love your journey. We love the level you're bringing. I wonder whether those years of coaching, you know, just maybe even have helped your game even further. I mean, you can see your mind ticking over, the tactical acumen, just the way you set up the tennis court. I wish you nothing but the best to keep progressing in the sport and obviously enjoying it second time around. It's always great to have you on the show. Let's do it again sometime, and well done.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for your time, Brett. Thank you.
Lee too. It's a great story, isn't it? I mean, just the positivity on our social media last night was there for everyone to see. Everyone loves a journey of someone coming back. And this is the great part about tennis, isn't it? I mean, you can walk away, have a think about things. You know, do I really want it? And you can come back and make an imprint on the sport. So to go from no ranking to 190 in 14 months, I mean, everyone who's seen him play, it's a great brand of tennis. We want to see more of it and more of it on the bigger stages.